In this age of the internet, there are multiple places to get movie news and find out information about what's going on in Hollywood. However, this comes with a price, so there are many out there who try to grab attention with clickbait that attempts to elicit a reaction. We have a responsibility as readers to tell apart legitimate journalism versus the unreliable scoopers, who just print whatever they want in the hope it will become a Twitter trending topic. It seems like more scoopers pop up with anonymous sources every day, and over the past few weeks, the likes of Jessica Chastain, Guillermo del Toro, and cinematographer Robert Richardson have had to debunk bogus scoops written about them. So I want to mention the movie news sources I trust. If they publish a story, chances are it's legitimate. The Hollywood Reporter is probably the most trustworthy movie industry trade publication. Founded in 1930, they are the first website I always visit to check the legitimacy of a story, and they have some of the best journalists in the business. There's a reason Kim Masters is as revered and respected as she is. Back in the 50s, the Reporter's founder was involved in shaping the Hollywood blacklist, but in recent years, they've been open about this shameful part of their history and have published multiple articles owning up to this. Variety is one of the oldest entertainment trade papers, and one with quite the storied history. In many a classic movie, if you see a Hollywood character reading the trades, it's often Variety. That tells us how the studios trusted them with their stories and how they wrote about the film industry. Entertainment Weekly is a more recent magazine, but still reputable. Of course, there's also Vanity Fair, which has published many excellently researched and sourced stories about the entertainment industry. And in the online space, Deadline is pretty reliable too. They actually used to be a lot more ruthless, and the articles had an editorial spin to them, but after the website's original founder left, Deadline has drastically improved the professionalism in the writing. What do these sources of movie news have in common? They work directly with the studios, confirming with them and making sure they're okay with a story being published or an announcement being revealed. Entertainment Weekly, for example, worked closely with Sony Pictures and director Jason Reitman in order to reveal the new Ghostbusters movie opening next year. These publications have worked hard to gain that respect and prove they can maintain a good relationship with the studios. And if something serious does need to be reported, they maintain a journalistic integrity when writing about whatever scandal erupts. The Hollywood Reporter's articles on the Me Too scandals have been widely acclaimed because they read like actual exposés rather than gossip rags. Outside of the trusted trades and magazines, there are a multitude of websites out there that also report on movie news. They employ people known as scoopers. You'll sometimes see them write articles where they mention inside information they got from an anonymous source and publish it without any further fact-checking and clarification to back up the validity of this claim. They basically break every rule taught in journalism school. Not even journalism school. Basic journalism integrity is something taught in elementary school. I'm immediately dubious of these anonymous sources because it's often just one person they use, and they all read like, "My cousin's roommate's girlfriend's uncle who works at Paramount says." Of course, anonymous sources have been a major part of journalism since the medium was invented, but real reporters use more than just them. Woodward and Bernstein did not merely rely on deep throat when writing about Watergate. They did actual investigative journalism to back up their claims. It wasn't just, "this man in a garage told us." The use of a single anonymous source who's probably not privy to all information can also lead to wires being crossed and a game of broken telephone. When looking at movie news, the security of the major studios is also important to note. Disney is notorious for their strict non-disclosure agreements, which everyone from directors to actors to even lower-level employees are required to sign. Why would somebody risk their job and the ire of the mouse just to whisper secrets to a scooper? What do they gain from doing that? Nothing. It's why you should be especially suspicious of scoopers reporting on Disney. For example, it was being rumored for months that Zendaya would be cast as Ariel in the live-action Little Mermaid, enough that plenty of fans already started getting excited about this. But in the end, Disney officially announced that Halle Bailey will play Ariel. Not a single scooper got that right. The question is, why do they do this? Well, the principal reason is to get clicks. It's hard to resist the allure of easy clicks when you reveal Disney is making a live-action Home on the Range movie, or David Schwimmer will play the Riddler in the new Batman movie. The other reason is to be first. If you hear an inkling of a rumor, you want to be the first website to break the news. Hollywood Reporter and Variety actually take the time to verify and double-check to see if a rumor is legitimate. Other websites don't have the patience for this. They want readers, stat, which then leads to studios and filmmakers and actors having to waste their time and debunk this scoop, even though it's already spread like wildfire. For me, what bothers me about these movie scoops is they take away the magic. How amazing was it when Marvel revealed Natalie Portman would return to the Thor franchise and pick up the hammer? Or a few years ago when Disney announced at D23 that the Disney princesses would make an appearance in Ralph Breaks the Internet. Imagine if the specialness of those reveals was spoiled by some website. There's a constant need to find out every morsel of information about a film even when it's still in pre-production. Maybe I'm strange, but I feel we should wait for the studio and filmmakers to reveal certain information when we're good and ready. This goes beyond mere movie news, though. I think we have a responsibility to tell apart legitimate journalism versus tabloid nonsense. There is so much misinformation being passed around online, and we need to fact-check every single one. There are good journalists out there doing proper work, and we undermine them by giving attention to people who are not doing it properly. There was a great underseen movie released last year called The Frontrunner that touched on this. In the film, we see journalists of a small Miami newspaper use back-alley tactics to get their story, and the film shows the ramifications of this irresponsible reporting as opposed to the more tried-and-true routes used by the Washington Post or the New York Times. Supergirl had an excellent story arc in its second season, when Kara becomes a reporter and deals with the strict journalistic rules set by her editor-in-chief. He's portrayed as a bit of a grump, but everything he teaches her is true. There are even television sitcoms that successfully touch on real journalism versus scooping. My final point is a simple one. Don't believe everything you read. Use your critical thinking skills, and if you see false information being shared, call it out and stamp out that fire as quickly as possible. Real journalists exist who are putting hard work into their stories, and they're the ones we need to support. Thank you for watching.